You're watching the Chaos Protocol on Transplanar RPG, an all-transgender, people of color-led dark fantasy TTRPG show set in an original non-colonial, anti-Orientalist multiverse. If you like what you see, please consider pledging to our Patreon to support the show and get access to a patron-only after-show, early podcast episodes, GM notes, character sheets, and even the chance for your tabletop OC to cameo in our series. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy. The Chaos Protocol is a dark fantasy series that may contain content that is triggering for some viewers. Content warnings for this episode include environmental collapse, storms, fantasy violence, blood, monsters and monstrosity, caves, and surgery. Arc 4, Episode 4. Our Home is Rust. From Waiting for the Moon to Burn by Connie Chang. Notes on climate. Entry 003. Even before the wasting, the three suns of Keseki have always heated the surface of the planet unevenly, generating areas of immense weather due to extreme pressure differentials. Now, the planet's overall reduction in moisture, coupled with the geomagnetic storms in its upper atmosphere that greatly alter the intensity and trajectory of solar winds, as well as the planet's infamously long night cycles that plummet temperatures for extended periods of time, all work together to generate weather conditions that are more volatile and unpredictable than anything the planet has ever seen. However, there are a few phenomena we can consistently account for, given meteorological readings, secondhand accounts, and the author's own experiences thus far. One of these phenomena is the thermally magnifying effect of the planet's atmospheric storms. As the author hopes the reader knows, warm air rises, and cold air rushes in to fill the space left behind. This balancing effect creates wind. Thermal magnification makes Keseki's winds even stronger than they already were, with the strongest gales blasting across areas without complex or variable terrain to block its trajectory, such as open fields or plains. And each time, without fail, these winds whip up a titanic cloud of dust. And by titanic, this author means titanic. These dust storms are often the size of cities, if not entire countries. They are truly a sight to behold, blanketing the horizon from north to south, east to west, as far as the eye can see. From a distance, they might resemble a mountain range or a floating gray mirage, but do not be fooled. A dust storm is fearsome, it is violent, and it cannot be survived. The author recommends avoiding them as much as mortally possible, especially if one is in the vicinity of a wind tunnel, such as a mountain range, a valley, or a bay. Yinghe slows down as your party progresses toward the edge of what used to be the bay. Their eyebrows furrowed, Tada gaze focused. She cocks her head to the side, transfixed, and says out loud, "Just what is that thing?"
Xainan peers through his scope, looking. Does he know? Does this look like the death that came for him?
It sure does.
Dust. We gotta fucking go.
Quick, now! Double time!
Wait. And Xainan goes to everyone. Find something on their body. Put this over your mouth. Now.
Okay.
Okay. Each member of Nova ties sheer strips of fabric over their nose, their mouth, their jaw, and Xainan, as you watch your family try to fashion these masks, you know in your heart of hearts, this is not enough. This is worse than what everyone else back at Lodestar Steading had on. This is worse than what Piera had on. This is worse than what Dom had on. This is worse than what Azalise had on. This is much worse than what you and Doxa had on. And through that scope, that dust storm, it's very far away still. It's hundreds of miles away, but you know how fast these things can move. And given your intimate history with this phenomena, you know that there's maybe between 10 to 30 hours before it catches up to you. And a storm, of course, moves much faster than a person can. So you have essentially two options here. You can try to outrun it, climb out of this basin and get somewhere, find something to shelter behind once you're on even land, or you can find a place to hunker down and wait it out.
As everyone's tightening their fabric over their face, he hears that cough, not his own, but Dom's, Piera's, Azalise's, and the one that thinks his heart straight into his feet, Doxa's. He knows they can't outrun it, so his eyes scan, and I'd like to use a move, Connie.
Okay.
I have an ability called Reconnaissance. When I investigate a new location, make a survival check. For each success, I can ask the GM one and receive an honest answer of a list of 3 questions. On a failure, I ask anyway, but then something bad happens to me.
Excellent. So a survival check. Let's see. You don't have situational advantage. You're not getting assistance from another character. Are you harnessing a relevant tool or power?
I'm using my gun to look.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. I would say that works because it's essentially acting as binoculars. So that is 2d20. Would you like to burn any resources to increase your pool?
Yes. I
think
so. I think we gotta find
from your provisions, energy, or protection.
I'm gonna say from protection. No, I can't think of a reason for that one. I think he looks to Lumièra as he's doing this and grabs some of the, reaches and where he knows some of the medical supplies went, and he just grabs some of it to wrap over his hand to steady himself, quite literally using some of the gauze to hold his hand a little bit more together since his glove is not cutting it right now.
Okay, so that's 3d20 in the pool total. Your provisions go down from 6 to 5. Roll 3d20. We're looking for 12s and under.
That's a 3. So I get
3.
1.
All 3 of them are successes?
No, it's sorry, I get 1.
You get 1 success. So you can ask 1 question from the list. Your 3 questions are, what hazard, trap, or ambush is hidden here? What safety or refuge can be found? Or what here is most valuable to me?
There's only one thing on his mind. What safety or refuge can be found?
Okay, absolutely. You wrap the gauze around your burned hands to steady your gun. You peer through the scope and you scan across what used to be a bay, and you see more of these shipwrecks at first, dotting the vicinity in front of you. The closer and closer you get to the base of those sloping cliffs, you see overturned vessels of all sizes and shapes. One of them in particular, I think, gleams under the obscured light of day. A massive container ship tilted on its side. All of the shipping containers have been kind of spilled out. Many of the doors have been pried open, and they look empty. People must have passed through here or something. It's been picked clean. But you do notice that one of the shipping containers is still closed. And you think, a shipping container? Could you hole up inside a shipping container and wait this out? No, this is still much too exposed. Still too much in the open. But that closed shipping container does seem to gleam in the light, promising resources, promising something behind its doors. As you continue scanning across the basin, you also see, perhaps 500 feet away from the shipping containers, something growing out of a crack in the earth. Something colorful, green. 2 stalks of something green, growing and swaying slightly in the breeze. Even through your scope, you can't tell exactly what it is, but it looks like vegetation. And then as you continue panning your scope around, you see against the bottom of one of the cliff's edges a cave entrance, perhaps a quarter mile away from where you are.
He looks at that shipping container. It is tantalizing. If it had been there an hour earlier when they were searching the crash site, he would have scrapped that thing all the way down to its bolts. But resources won't save you if you're stuck in a storm. And he points everyone, there. A cave. And the green he can't get out of his mind, hoping that leaving it there doesn't leave it to die in this dust, and wondering how. How is there something green here? But he can't.
So Xainan,
it just grows in him like
is,
hope.
The good news about the vegetation is that it's on your way to the cave entrance.
Great. Then he goes towards the cave, but also he can't stop thinking about something growing here.
Yeah, absolutely. So Xainan, as you lower your scope and you tell your party that there's a cave entrance, do you also relay the information about the vegetation you saw?
I think he mostly points to the cave and is gonna bridge the vegetation when he gets there.
Sounds good. So Nova, you fucking hoof it. You start trotting, timing it, toward the cave entrance. And after Xainan had pointed it out, it takes a little bit, maybe like half a minute of trotting before the cave entrance is visible to the naked eye, past this like haze of ever-present filtered dust just floating in the air around you. And Yinghe, Lumièra, and Seir, the 3 of you also notice the 2 kind of like stalks of vegetation growing from a crack on the way toward the cove. You only have to make a detour of like 30 or 50 feet to really see what it is. Is that a plant?
I don't know, but I'm gonna go find out.
Okay, just be careful.
I got your back.
And
Okay.
he starts to go that way.
All right, Seir, you follow Xainan. Lumièra, do you also follow the boys, or do you stay a little whiles behind with Yinghe?
No, I stay back with Yinghe. I think Lumièra's like trying to double time it, but her legs still really hurt and she has not healed herself yet. So she's kind of biting through it.
Okay, absolutely. So you hang back maybe 15 or 20 feet from Xainan and Seir. As Xainan, you start to approach this vegetation first. And as you draw closer, you see that they're both about the same height, maybe 2 or 3 feet tall, actually quite tall. And they're kind of like waving in the breeze, almost like seaweed at first. At first they look like seaweed, like kelp, except there's no water at all here. They almost just resemble ferns, and they're just wiggling as you get closer.
And he is going to walk right up to it. He wants to understand how something is surviving out here. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like back to back with Xainan, so I'm just like looking elsewhere while Xainan investigates.
Xainan, I need you to tell me what you do, as when you draw closer, you sense the ground beneath your feet start to shudder vibrate just a little, like just slightly, a slight tremor underneath your boots. And then something very bad happens that you don't see coming. I need you to just roll me. You have 1d20 in the pool to start. You have no situational advantage. You have no assistance. You are caught by surprise here. So that is just 1d20. And you are looking to beat a 1.
You know, I came as close as I could. It is a 2.
Okay. There's a slight tremor. You're looking at the vegetation. You get a bit closer. And you're trying to find where the vegetation connects to the ground. Maybe inside the edge of this crevice. Maybe into the earth directly. No. It just keeps extending down, down, down into the crack until shadows bathe it out of sight. And then something shoots out of the crack so fast that your eye can't track it. And then you feel pain inside your torso. Ugh. You look down and there is a harpoon made of bone sticking through your solar plexus and coming out the other side. No, not a harpoon, a tongue, a segmented, lashing tongue. Dozens of feet long, about half a foot wide, and it is penetrated through the center of your body. The hooks on the harpoon flare outward as the harpoon retracts and it catches you, starting to pull you into the crevice. We are entering combat. I have acted first as the predator. Xainan, you're being dragged toward this thing. Seir, you're in the vicinity. Lumièra and Yinghe, the two of you see this happen from 15, 20 feet away. Which one of you responds first?
I am fucking right there. I better fucking respond. Okay. Seir feels the tremors too late. And watching this harpoon right through Xainan, pulling him taut, I have to free Xainan from this. If it pulls anymore, Xainan is a goner. I will unsheath my crossbow. You said it's a tongue, and it's segmented, right?
Yes, as you rush closer. Oh, by the way, Xainan, lose another hit point for me. You're down to 1.
Yeah.
Yep. Seir, as you rush closer, you do notice that it's segmented. It makes you think of the bone whip that Bai Guxing had back in the city of heaven that could segment outward. Except the thing that's connecting each segment seems to be an organic kind of ligature.
Okay. Just like breaking crab claws or legs, Seir's going to try to use patience to cut the tongue right just in that tender spot right above the notch of that ligament, where it's likely the softest, so that he can to save Xainan.
That's smart. So not aiming at the armor, but at the soft ligature.
Yes.
Okay. This is our first player combat roll of the season. So you make a combat roll just like you would a skill check, except instead of using measuring it against the threshold of a skill, we're just looking for the lowest roll, and that becomes your target's DC to beat to avoid damage. You have no situational advantage. You are not receiving assistance from another character, unless Lumièra would like to hop in here and help in some way, use your action to help. You are harnessing a relevant tool or power. You're using... Oh no, your crescent knife counts as your weapon, so you can't count it twice.
Yeah.
Yes. So your weapon die... You also add your weapon die to this because you are using your weapon. What size is your weapon die?
It is a D10.
Okay, so that is 2d20, 1d10. Would you like to burn any resources to add d20s to the pool?
Oh, Kai has the thing.
Can I be helping instead of doing literally anything else? Knowing that Seir was right behind, I think Xainan is actively like, the most important thing is this thing coming out of me. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So what help means is you forfeit your next action to just lend support to someone else's. So yes, Xainan, you can be helping. How are you helping as you're impaled on this thing? Are you? How does the helping come out?
He blindly grabs for Seir the moment that he when the realization of what has happened hits him, he doesn't even think it through. His hand goes to Seir.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, so yeah, you reflexively pull Seir's attention toward you, so Seir acts even faster than he already would. So that, for you, Seir, is 3d20, 1d10. Would you like to burn any resources?
I do not want to burn any resources.
Okay, so roll those 4 dice for me. We're looking for the lowest number.
Lowest number. Ooh, that is a 1 on one of my d20s. Everything else
so
is
I have
larger.
to beat a 1. Okay, if I beat a 1, then your attack will not succeed.
Thank you, Seir dice.
That's a 2. That is a 2. That is a 4. I have 1 more die. That is a 3. Your attack does succeed.
Oh my god.
Also, Xainan, you have an adrenaline die because you took damage. And Seir, you gain an adrenaline die here because you're dealing damage. Tell me how you cut through this tongue as you leap forward.
Seir leaps forward, feels, I think Xainan grabs Seir right at the bit of the Henley that's unbuttoned, holding it taut, and Seir holds the crescent blade in an underhanded grip, and basically not finds purchase right in that flesh, and just in one fell swoop cuts upward.
Yep. You sever. You find this 2-inch wide weakness in the armor. You discover it in the heat of battle. It's almost as though you feel Artemis's guiding presence next to you as you put that crescent blade right in that weak spot, and you sever it in a single clean line. Black blood sprays everywhere. Onto Xainan, onto Seir, as what's remaining of this tongue lashes, almost like a fire hose. That's just blood just gouts everywhere. And the 2 vegetation stalks, which you realize were yours, they retreat back into the crevice, and the tongue goes back down as well. The 2 of you hear a deep growling from within the crevice. The ground shakes a little. Do you continue to try to fight what's down there, or are you booking it?
Fuck no, we're out of here.
Okay.
And Seir doesn't wait. He sees that the tongue, you still have tongue within your torso, and I think all Seir does is cut the length a little shorter so it's not weighing you down, Xainan, and grabs your arm, and we're running. Go, go, go,
Okay.
go, go!
Yeah, Lumièra, all of this happens within less than 2 seconds. You were about to leap into action when it's over. It's over as soon as it began. And you see Seir with a impaled Xainan, supporting an impaled Xainan, limping and limping and limping toward your direction and toward the cove. Yinghe lets out a Xainan! Rushes forward to support Xainan's side. Yep, Yinghe is booking it toward the cove. And I assume you follow, Lumièra.
Yeah.
Okay, yep. The 4 of you run as fast as you can. Xainan, you are physically unable to go your top speed, but Seir is helping you. And within minutes, you find yourselves inside the relative safety of this cave. As soon as you step inside this cave, the light from outside and what little warmth remains in the air from outside immediately gets sucked out of the room. As a darkness falls over you, you stagger in, and this hard earth eventually transitions to a kind of stony ground that also bleeds upward to form the walls and the ceiling of this cave. What used to be, you realize, a cove of sorts. There must have been water in here once upon a time, because you see a kind of rocky drop-off point, perhaps 30 feet deep into the cave entrance that leads even deeper into the cove. But for now, at least, you seem to have found some safety, as whatever was inside that crevice does not crawl out to pursue you. We are no longer in combat. Xainan and Seir, the blood that's covering you doesn't have a smell. It doesn't even have a taste. It barely has a weight on your body. It just kind of feels like nothing. Xainan, there's something inside of you, and every breath you take wheezes.
He is barely able to move or think, and still, Seir, in your arm, you feel him reach for his rifle.
No.
We gotta check the cave. We gotta check the cave. We gotta check the cave.
I can check the cave. I can check the cave.
Seir, check the cave. I got this.
Okay.
And Lumièra is immediately at her knees at Xainan's side, like moving his clothes out of the way, checking the entry and exit. It went all the way through. Good, we can treat it. Yinghe, can you pass me my kit, please?
Yes, absolutely, 100%. And Yinghe kneels next to Xainan, helping you, Lumièra.
Knowing that the crescent blade did and can cut through the flesh, Seir unsheaths patience from the holsters around his torso and hands it to Yinghe, so that Yinghe can have a sturdy implement, because we don't have scalpels. If we need something sharp, the crescent blade will have to do. So I will pass the crescent blade over to Yinghe.
Yinghe takes it, but then hesitates. Wait, Seir, if you're going to go exploring, you need a weapon.
Xainan needs treatment. You do not. Lumièra does not have her implements. I won't go far.
Take this! And Yinghe takes like a piece of twisted rebar that they've scavenged from the ship and hands it to you.
Seir holds it like a bat. Thanks. I'll be alright.
Be safe. And Seir, you go.
Are you sure
Lumièra.
I'm going?
Would you like to use your first aid ability to
Yes,
restore a hit
please.
point to
Yeah, so I'm gonna
Okay.
I'm definitely gonna use those three of my provisions to remove
Okay,
that.
you had 5. We're bumping that down to 2.
2.
But it just works. Tell me what it looks like as you patch Xainan up.
I think Xainan, you already know severe wounds in the field, what Lumièra has to do. So I think you instinct, and she's done it for you plenty of times in the field at this point. You just know to grit your teeth as she digs in gently, trying to see if there's anything that's broken off inside, if there's any like teeth that are remaining or anything that would stop this from healing up all the way once I closed it on his front and his back. So when she does that, she looks over to Yinghe and asks for for patience.
The blade.
The blade, yeah.
Yinghe hands it over instantly.
In my medical kit, I have to have a flint or something that can spark a fire, yes?
100%, sure. Yeah, this
Cool.
is one of the provisions you're using. Absolutely.
Awesome. So Lumièra, she doesn't have any type of antiseptic or anything like that in the field, so she just takes the lighter, takes the fire, burns the tip of the blade just to make sure that it's clean. I'm sorry, Xainan. And we'll dig in, trying to sew the wound back together, and then we'll gingerly flip you over to do the back.
Lumièra, as you spark a fire to sanitize the surface of this crescent blade, you see the black blood dribbling on its surface. And you see your own face reflected inside this sheer void. Not even void, less than void. This nothingness, this empty blood. But the face that looks back at you isn't your own. It is your own, but it's younger, much younger. It's the face you had when you first came to the Syndicate. A shocked, amnesiac, scared child. And then you blink and you are yourself again, and the blood evaporates. No, it doesn't evaporate. It just melts away like it wasn't ever there in the first place.
What? And I think just as quickly as she realizes it and questions it, she remembers the task that she has at hand, and the one thing that has always worked out for her in the past, work, the mission.
But Xainan calls her back to it because she said aloud, "Well, what's the matter? Ow! Fuck!"
Sorry, nothing, no, sorry, I just thought I saw something. It's fine. And she's
On
trying
me?
to like, no, I told you, it's fine. Don't worry, I'm sorry. And you feel a particularly sharp, like, nick tongue, in one of the stitches. I'm sorry. I just a few more seconds. And wildly enough, her hands have always, especially when she's healing, they've always been sturdy, solid as a rock. You feel them trembling against your skin, Xainan.
And he takes this not as fear for whatever he doesn't know she's seen, but concern and worry. And he just shuts up and lets her take care of him because he knows that comforts her.
Seir,
Oh, yes?
you slide down this rocky drop-off, and your boots land on solid ground. But it's not even and level and flat like the earth outside. There are crenellations to it. It's rocky, cave-like. And as you proceed into this corridor, very, very, very quickly, what paltry light was left by the entrance of the cave vanishes. And soon, the only light that remains are the cybernetics glowing from your horns and your tail, acting as weak torches to illuminate your path. You see a corridor opening up in front of you, a wide cave tunnel. And you see, dribbling from the ceiling, teeth? Fangs? Oh, stalactites, coming down in these long, conical shapes, these spears, and stalagmites growing out of the floor. Some of them only go up to your waist, some of them are taller than you, in these irregular directions, irregular shapes and sizes. This cave tunnel continues for about 30 feet before it branches off into various directions, all of them populated by stalagmites and stalactites.
The light that weakly illuminates this darkness around Seir is a blinking yellow. It is almost the shade of orange, but it seems to be turning more still with each passing heartbeat. Instead of flashing violently, it breathes. And as Seir moves about this cavern, he's hunkering low, keeping almost like a permanent crouch as he's moving, treating this cavern as inhabited until proven otherwise. And as we are walking, Seir's using the rebar that Yinghe gave him and is making a couple of notches on the ground every few feet.
Oh yeah, to mark your path. Very smart.
The path. Mm-hmm.
That's a great idea. As you traverse... Go ahead.
No, I think you should tell me what's happening first before I decide whether or not to do this.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair. As you traverse deeper into this cave, right before the corridor splits off in kind of like a Y formation, if you're on the branch of the Y and then the two arms come out, you notice that it's not just stalagmites protruding from the ground and stalactites hanging from the ceiling. There are things on the walls, too. Many things on the walls, actually. In addition to the rough stone of the cave, you also see branching, rocky, dead coral growing in clusters from the wall. Some of them have branches that are maybe a foot long, but others have branches that are so long they almost poke you from the side. They're like 7-8 feet long. Each branch is quite narrow, however, maybe only at its largest the width of a person's arm, some even narrower than that. And you can see the ends, the tips of some of these branches, and you notice that they're hollow. But what's inside is dark. Unless you really lean in and peer, you wouldn't be able to see.
I'm not putting my face into an opening. I'm a brown man. This is a horror movie. I'm not doing that.
Thank you so much, Val. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
you're right.
Thank you. You're right, and you should say it. You are
I
correct.
simply will not. I simply will not.
Survival
Are you
skills
sure?
1000. So smart.
I simply will not put my face close to what I will do. Seeing this is as Seir is maintaining this crouch and moving. He is hesitant to move to any particular branches at this point. But what I'd like to do is use my strategic intelligence ability.
Okay.
Which allows when I investigate a threat of the possibility one, I can make a grit check. For each success, I can ask the GM one question and receive an honest answer.
Okay, so the mechanics are very similar to the check that Xainan made, but we're doing grit instead of survival. So, you do not have situational advantage. You are not getting assistance from someone else. Are you harnessing a relevant tool or power?
I can't.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, I can't. I think the most that if you would allow me, the most I would do is using the rebar to like. So you mentioned this kind of like hollow coral branches. I think Seir, like approaching anything that might nest within a hole, like taps the side of the branch to hear if anything comes out of it.
Okay, sure. I like that. I would say you're harnessing a relevant tool, so that's 2d20.
2d20.
Would you like to burn any resources?
I would love to use my adrenaline that I have.
Oh, okay. So that's actually a good note because adrenaline dice expire after combat.
Okay, never mind. Bye-bye, adrenaline.
Yes.
So just 2d20.
Goodbye. Yes, 2d20.
Bye, adrenaline.
We're looking for a 12 and under.
That is 2 successes. Wow. Well done, buddy. That is 1 11 and 1 9.
Perfect. This is actually a great system for you, Val, because you always roll
It
terribly.
is. I do.
Love it. So, which of these 3 questions would you like to ask 2 of? What's the biggest danger here? What's my best way in, out, or through? Or who or what is most vulnerable to me?
It's probably the first 2. What's the biggest danger here, and what's my best way in, out, or through? We can't stay here forever. Is there a path past this cavern? That'll be great.
That's a really good point. So, for your first question, what's the biggest danger here? As you're using the rebar to kind of wrap on these arms, pretty much every single arm you tap, as soon as there's contact, it crumbles. These are dead exoskeletons of coral. They've been long dead, long dead. They just crumble at the slightest touch and crumple onto the ground like a plume of dust. But you keep checking just in case. And as you progress a bit deeper into the cave, as you tap one of these especially long kind of hollow tubes and it crumbles, something else falls out of it too. Something small, spherical, white, and glimmering. Do you try to catch it or do you let it hit the ground and roll?
I catch it. I think Seir, the smarter thing to do would be to let it drop, but Seir's been trained by Artemis and I think has done training sequences in the dark catching things. And there's this bit of glimmer and Seir's gloved hand like instinctively reaches out to catch it.
You catch it. And as your fingers unfurl, you see a large, beautiful pearl.
Seir looks at it and I think like studies it in the dim yellow light. Was about to put the pearl in the pocket where the oracle is. Pauses, puts it in the other pocket.
Wait,
You hear a muffled voice.
what was that? It smelled yummy.
Don't worry about it. We'll have Lumièra look at it first.
Okay.
And Seir, that wasn't the danger. As you get closer to where the tunnels branch off, you can see, illuminated by the cybernetic glow of your horns, there are more of these coral now on the ceiling. of the corridor to the right. These corals specifically clump around the base of hanging stalactites. And they look almost identical to the coral on the walls, but if you peer a little bit closer, the surface of their exoskeleton looks darker than just the desiccated gray of the other coral on the walls. Almost like there were veins of shadow or just void running through them. But they're perfectly still. Perfectly still.
Seir's mind flashes back to when Doom communicated through the dying screams of fear of these pilots, these traders aboard that desiccated ship, that vessel that they had passed through on their way to Kiseki before their own crash. And hearing, like, that's all Seir hears in the, like, behind his eyes, like, in his mind, is that, like, radio static, and his hand instinctively goes towards the off and not working radio to, like, click at the knob, knowing nothing's gonna come up. It's like a baby blanket. Seir is a tiny young buck in the, like, staring headlong into danger, and their parent is nowhere to be seen. There's no comfort.
The click of the broken button echoes through the cavern as you stare up at these different looking coral down the right corridor. And I will answer your second question, what is my best way in, out, or through? The other hallway.
Great. I will pivot. I think, like, Seir sees that hallway, makes his own mark that will denote danger, and then move to, because this place is so dark, and then move to the other hallway just to see how far it stretches. He doesn't want to go too far.
It curves for a long time. You'd have to proceed for maybe another 2 minutes before really knowing if it branches off. So you could continue to explore or go back to your team at this point.
Two minutes is a long time. Seir makes, and all the grooves that Seir makes in the stone are deep. They're not meant to be mistaken for other ridges and other imperfections in the rock. He's using the very, very, like, human-made material to make these geometric shapes, ones that would feel unnatural, ones you could feel with your fingers in the dark. And I think he makes a note on that in the wall. There's, like, a bit of him that wants to go further and goes, no. Don't be foolish, you don't know what's out there. Come on, Seir, use your head. Artemis wouldn't go too far from Nova. And will turn back towards Nova.
Okay. Lumièra and Xainan. After Lumièra's makeshift surgery, the harpoon has been removed from your body, the wound packed as well as it could be, stitched on front and back, and now wrapped with gauze. And there are empty packages and pieces of the provisions that Lumièra had used to patch you up scattered all around your limp body, Xainan. Regain 1 hit point for me. You are stable for now, but what's littered around you is the detritus of so much of what you scavenged from the Kestrel, now used within the hour. And Lumièra, as you kind of pack up your surgery table, your hands are drenched in black and red all the way up to your elbows. And the front of your body is also covered in Xainan's blood and more of that black ichor.
Lumièra, for a moment, just kind of kneels back, like on her haunches. She was over Xainan and just stares at her hands, stares at the front of her, the pieces of gauze and stuff that's littered with this black and red too. And her eyes get so wide like saucers. And she frantically starts to try to like rub her hands on her thigh, on the ground, on anything to get it off.
Yinghe kneels next to you and rips wordlessly a piece of their outfit off. They kind of scrunch it up into their hand and they start wiping you gently, helping you get the blood and the ichor off of your skin. And Xainan, as you watch Yinghe and Lumièra work, your vision is still swimming. You feel a little cold and shaky from the blood loss, but you know you're okay. You're not going to die, and you're still conscious. And you notice something on the wall behind you and above your heads. A sign. That's right, a sign. Nailed to the stony wall of this cavern. And it reads in a script you understand very well. Private property of Raja Yomine Mining Corporation. Sorry, I messed up the name, 1 second. Private property of Raja Yowang Mining Corporation. A metal plate against the rocky wall.
Ah. And even in his somewhat delirious state, that name now, he sees that video used up resource. And the idea that these people, not just the Raja Yuan company, they took from something deep in here, and a flare, not only of anger at them, but just of anger, rips through him for a moment. Fuck!
Are you okay? Did a stitch come loose?
No. This used to be mine for those fucking people.
A mine? Here?
Wouldn't it have been underwater?
Oh. Oh my god. This
What?
used to be a body of water.
The salt deposits. The curvature
The
of the ledge.
ships.
The ships.
Oh, the white salt, of course.
Is everything okay, Lumièra? You've been a little out of it since we've been here.
I'm fine. Don't worry about it. Are you good?
Yes, I'm fine, but that wasn't my question. My question was if... And that's when you all hear footsteps coming from further in the cave, and Seir rises from that rocky fall off.
Seir, you are greeted by the light that now in this dim cave you see. Xainan's rifle, the scope on it has very subtle glow inside of the scope. And it flashes at you. You're muted.
You muted.
Oh, you are muted.
Oh, excuse me.
Video
Come
is
back to
silencing me. Seir like raises a hand and sees that Xainan's patched up and looks to Lumièra. How is he?
He's fine. What'd you find?
2 branches further down. 1, bad news. There seems to be some sort of thing inside. I don't want to risk it. I've made some marks along the walls. There's another path that seems open and maybe our best way through here. We can't stay here forever. But I didn't explore too far. I wanted to make sure we were close. And I found this. And Seir goes into his waistcoat pocket and pulls out a glittering pearl.
Oh shit.
Found it when I was tapping some of these old dead coral, disintegrated. And I think he like lowers the pearl probably to your hand, Xainan.
Xainan, looking at it, something old and fierce within you flickers in recognition. This pearl is valuable, or it would have been valuable before the wasting struck. A luxury good, an item of status and wealth. Even a single one of these would have fed your family for a month.
Not sure what it's gonna do good here, but it's worth something.
I figured maybe might be useful further down the line.
Well, at least
Trade
now
with people
we know
who-
what they were mining for.
Yeah.
I think we should try to go further in. We're still too exposed here by the entrance of the cave. That dust storm is gonna blow right in here and bury everything.
Yeah,
I think
I
we
agree.
should follow the path Seir laid out for us.
You good to walk, old man?
Oh, you're talking to me now. And
Right.
Xainan looks to Seir the question that he's been filing away, bursting out of him in unkindness in this moment.
Right. I don't think I explained it. We'll talk while we walk. Come.
Xainan slowly pushes himself up. He is tired, angry, burning with this rage that I don't think you've ever seen, because that means having feelings and fire inside of him that he has refused to have. But the anger pushes him up.
Yinghe offers their unbroken shoulder, their unbroken arm, as a leverage point for you to push against and rise. They let out a little. Oh, okay, here we go.
Careful.
When we get to a
I'm
safe
okay.
spot, I'll take a deeper look at your arm. Okay?
I'll be fine. I can heal. The splint is holding. You don't have to worry about me. We don't have much left anyway. Seir, why don't you lead the way?
Seir feels Xainan's fiery fury like a hot dagger right between his ribs of every perceived failure, and this is mounting on top of it. And as we walk, Seir, still holding that rebar, following, and you see all the notches he has marked on the path that he is moving. And as we begin to approach the branching paths ahead of us, Seir says to Nova, I have a father, I've discovered. He is my creator. I think a domain, doom incarnate, the source of my omen speaking abilities. He looks like a stag. Dark fur. Bunch of red threads. And at this point, Seir's like, we're moving towards that path now between the two branching paths. He's now entering the mouth of the open path that we are meant to travel on. And this is where he begins crouching again, feeling the wall, using the rebar to make notches on the wall that he can feel to know which path is forward. I haven't said anything because honestly, there really wasn't a good time to bring it up. And then puts another notch in.
Well,
And this radio taps it. I was able to communicate with him. He gave me some warnings while we were on the ship. And now I can't. I can't sense the omens. Not through this anymore.
How?
Well, let's think of it this way. Now all of Nova has secrets, right? And Lumièra is very pointed towards you, Xainan.
I don't know how. When we were in the kingdom of heaven, that is when they told me. You are my son, we are doomed.
Well, okay.
And he doesn't talk to me all that often. He doesn't talk to me at trans. He manifests it differently in Inferno, and I really... And Doom was everywhere in Inferno.
So they've been following us.
I think they're just a part of me, or come and go as they please. I don't fucking know. It's complicated, and I don't have the answers.
You're right. It probably is complicated, and Xainan says that to Lumièra.
Lumièra rolls her eyes. Can I use archaeology, please?
Yes, absolutely you can. Yinka has stayed remarkably quiet through this entire exchange. They did not look surprised at all when Seir revealed this knowledge, and they were only looking towards Seir with a gaze of support when they revealed this. Lumièra, archaeology is a very similar skill to what Xainan and Seir have both used, except this time you are making a wit check when you investigate the history of a place. This cove, I assume. So, make me a wit check. You have no situational advantage. You're not receiving assistance from anyone. Are you harnessing a relevant tool or power?
I think Lumièra probably taps into a bit of chronergy, just a little bit, just to...
Okay. Yeah, you pull on time magic a little to see what can be revealed about the past of this cavern. Love it. Would you like to expend any resources to help you?
Nah.
Okay, so that is 2 d20 total. We're looking for a 12 or under.
Oh, great. That's a 9 and an 8, so 2.
Oh, amazing.
successes.
Okay, 2 successes. Lovely. So what does it look like as you're pulling on chronergy to help you in this investigation?
I think kind of making her way past Xainan and the rest of Nova, Lumièra is feeling the walls a bit, reaching down and kind of feeling the dirt, trying to taste what she can of the air. And she just starts to push out just a little bit. And it's almost like she uses her left hand that's covered in the clock gears, and it almost looks like the gears that are painted onto her arms are starting to move and lock in place as she's just really, for all intents and purposes, doing a vibe check in relation to like what the energy was of this place, what I can see going on, if that energy was fucked or not. That's what she's looking for.
Absolutely. So which of these 3 questions would you like to ask? What secret, truth, or tragedy is buried here? What unexpected connection do I unearth? Or what discrepancy or dissonance eats at me?
These are all such really good questions. What the fuck?
You have to leave one of them out.
Okay. I'm gonna ask the first and the last one. What secret, truth, or tragedy is buried here, and what discrepancy or dissonance eats at me?
As your hands trail over the rough walls of this mine tunnel, occasionally making contact with the dead coral that just crumble underneath your touch, the clock gears click into place against your arm, and magic ripples out from you, a faint disturbance in the air around you. And as it ripples, Lumièra, you see around you a ghost of a ghost, an echo of an echo of water. You see water in this space. You see your own hair starting to rise, the braids coiling upward, weightless within this liquid. And Xainan and Seir, the two of you, see Lumièra's hair moving, but you don't see the water. You can sense, however, a kind of energy and power emanating off of her. And through your eyes, Lumièra, which begin to get more and more pale, brighter and brighter as you're channeling into this power, you see the water rise, and you see a ghostly outline of a person, a diver, swimming forward as they're pushing through the air. They phase right through you, and they move deeper, and you see more forms swimming through this water, deeper and deeper. Some of them pause and float in midair next to, you see a dead hunk of coral, but as this ghostly figure reaches forward, you see them kind of tap at the extended arm of this coral, and a ghostly after image of the coral's arm opening like a ripe pea pod ready to burst as it unfolds, and they funnel pearls into a basket that they lift from their waist, and then they gently close the arm with all the love of a farmer tending to a crop. And they continue to kind of push and swim down. And you see so many of these divers, so many of these coral animals, which are also plants. And you can sense the life that was here, the oceanic, the marine life. This place was alive. It was a hub of commerce, of trade, of habitation. There were people that lived here, people that worked here, people that called this place home. And now it's all gone. The water gone, the pearls gone, the divers gone, your hair floats back down and settles next to your body. That is the truth of this place. It was once beautiful, and the wasting took it all.
Lumièra kind of stops mid-step, and when she makes the realization, her head drops, her shoulders that are typically so stoic also drop in her body language as well. She just bangs the side of the cavern.
You alright?
Yeah. Just how many more people have to lose a home? And she just walks.
She leaves Xainan standing there for a moment.
Lumièra, as you walk on forward, Xainan, you pause before continuing to follow. Seir and Yinghe not too far behind. Lumièra, I will now answer your second question. What discrepancy or dissonance eats at me? As you continue to churn at the chronergy around you, feeling the life that was now dead, passing and rotating like a cycle. What was alive, now dead. Alive, now dead. Here, now gone. As that clockwork gear turns, it hitches on something. A grain of sand, a discrepancy, something that doesn't make sense. It was alive, now dead, and now alive? No. No, there's something else, Lumièra. This place is dead. But something lives in here. Something that is not yet gone. And we're going to end the session there. Thank you all so much for tuning in.
No. You don't just end. You don't just end. Stop being cute. You don't just end. Ain't shit cute.
Me? Who, me? Who, me?
When I left this
I am
war.
your nice GM. I am your lovely, sweet GM.
You
I am
anglerfish
your-
murdered me. You can't say that after
You're
that.
still alive. Don't be so dramatic. Thank you all so much for tuning in to our
Did you get that hit point back or not?
Did you?
God.
Did you or not?
Oh my
Friends,
God.
I'm so excited to return to the world of the Chaos Protocol and for you all to venture even deeper and deeper and deeper, literally into the belly of Kaseki. But first, let's do some much-deserved introductions, starting with Valiant Dorian.
Hi everyone, my name is Valiant Dorian. I use he, him, his pronouns. You can find me all across the internet at Valiant Dorian or at Alta Spirit Bear. Please enjoy the lovely treasure I just say you on. And tonight I have the distinct pleasure of playing. I actually finally told the truth that I'm the son of Doom, Seir, who uses he, they pronouns. I'm passing it over to the old man. How are you doing, old man?
Okay. We're sure doing. I got lanced through by a scared monster today, so I'm A-okay. Yeah, you can find me everywhere with a Stalin Landress. And yeah, I'm gonna pass that over to Samm. I'm in shock.
You okay? Outros. I know how to do this. I've been doing this for years now at this point. Yeah, you can find me all across the interwebs, more specifically at the place where butterflies do fly brighter. LUSTTFORLAFEEX. Find me there. Shit. Take us home, Connie. I don't got shit else. I don't know what to do at this point.
What are you talking about? We are home.
I
We're
gotta
at
go lay
Kaseki.
down.
It's great. This home is our home. It's a perfect, lovely home, and where nothing has gone wrong. So friends, everyone, as always, we will be streaming every Saturday at 8 p.m. US Eastern Time right here on Twitch and or YouTube Live. Thank you all so much for joining us for the continuation of Arc 4, and I truly cannot wait to reveal even more about Kaseki as the season hundles onward. Additionally, beyond the fiction of our stories, a reminder that we must stand in solidarity with peoples who are most affected by the ravages of climate disaster in the real world. So tonight, we strove to raise funds for Support Jamaica to provide food, shelter, medical aid, and relief to those affected by Hurricane Melissa. So thank you so much to everyone who gave during the stream to support Jamaica so far, and rest assured, we will continue to host these fundraisers throughout the arc. We're currently at 105. That's incredible. We broke $100 tonight. That's awesome. I just know for a fact we can break 250 next week. In the meantime, you can support our show by joining our Patreon, joining and participating in our Discord, making fan works if you are so inspired, posting about Transplaner on Blue Sky, Instagram, or Tumblr, rating our podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, buying merch from our merch store, and most importantly, telling someone about the channel. Your friends, your family, your barista, your dog, your cat, your parakeet. So thank you so much, Transplay Nerds. I will see you all next Saturday, November 8th at 8 p.m. US Eastern Time for the continuation of Arc 4. I'm so happy I got to do some critter time, and we didn't even see the critter. Just wait until you see the kinds of critters I've got prepared visually. In addition to, I almost said penetratively. And I guess I just did. Well, love you all. Bijo bijo. See you next week. Howdy, Transplay Nerds. It is, once again, Sponsor Connie time.
Arc 4 is proudly sponsored by Hero Forge, a website where you can design and print your very own custom miniatures. But you already knew that, didn't you? Because the spectacular Hero Forge has sponsored us every single arc so far. We've stuck together through all sorts of exciting updates, like Hero Forge Pro, statuettes, color-printed plastic, premium plastic, but now, it's time. It's time for one of the most exciting Hero Forge updates ever. Custom dice. Hero Forge is now offering 3D printed custom dice, where you can put literally anything into the clear material of the die. Each die is printed in the same layers as the item or character bust inside of it, resulting in a solid, perfectly weighted chunk of math rock. You decide the size, color, and shape of your die, the size and color of the numbers on top, and, of course, what the die contains.
Put a frog in it.
Don't die-lay. Visit bit.ly/transforge to design your very own custom miniature or custom dice today. Hello, Transplay nerds! You know what time it is. Sponsor Connie time. For Arc 4, we're collaborating with the Working Families Party, who are building a multiracial coalition of working class people to make our communities a better place to live for everyone. You might be thinking, why does a political party care about a queer tabletop show? As it turns out, the Working Families Party believes in the power of fandom to effect positive political change in the real world. So do we. As a Transplay nerd, you're no stranger to just how political our show can be and how our stories are never just fiction. In fact, let's take an action together right now by signing a petition by the Working Families Party to break up big media companies. This cause means a lot to us personally, as indie actual play performers fighting censorship, telling authentic stories, and resisting authoritarianism. Go to bit.ly/WFPtrans and add your name to the list. By signing this petition, you will join the Working Families Party's mailing list and receive opportunities to help them organize, educate, and fundraise. So let's build a better future together.